Hi, everybody. I'm Kathleen Byram, and I'm author of Conversations with Dawnkey, A Bipolar Journey. Today, I'd like to talk about delusions and my delusional ideas. Now, this is going to be probably a little hard to believe, but first I need to say that I'm bipolar, that I have bipolar, and that I have schizoaffective disorder. So, the weird thing is that I have these delusions, and I know they're delusional, and yet I still kind of believe them. It's the way that I can hold more than one truth in my head. It's hard to explain a little. But the delusions, some of them are ones that I had for a short time, and I didn't know they were delusions. And others I've had for years, and I know they're delusions, and yet I choose to believe them anyway. Now, an example of a delusion that I have that is a permanent one that I seem to not be able to get rid of, that would be the idea that somehow I am going to meet President Trump. I don't have the delusion that my book is going to do really well. That I don't see happening. But at the same time, and I don't see these videos doing that well either. I'm working on the analytics and trying to learn what to do, but I don't see it getting to be a big deal. I don't think I have what it takes. I don't think I have the charisma to do that. However, knowing these things, I still choose to believe that I'm going to somehow be able to meet him. How do I see it going? Well, I don't have the delusion that I'm going to do something special, although I would try to offer something special, but that's not it. I'm not sure how it would go about. I'm not sure if I would even act like I had any sense. It would be a very shocking thing to go through. What an experience that would be to meet a current president. But I have this stubborn feeling in the back of my head that I'm going to get to meet him. Now, I have made my opinions somewhat clear in my book, Conversations with Dawnkey. But I feel like I should mention it here in case you haven't read my book or aren't familiar with it. I disagree with President Trump's ideas for this country. I'm a respectful person, and I don't treat people rudely or disrespectfully. So I would be able to meet him and carry on just fine. even though I know that he has done things that I disagree with. I am still able to communicate and be friendly and be respectful. So there's that. I think I'm going to meet him. And I don't assume that it's going to go well. I don't know how it would go. I think if he were to meet me, he would look at me and he would immediately judge me as a loser because of my size, my lack of money, the fact that I have black people in my family, all kinds of reasons why he would look down on me. I think he would deign to give me perhaps a glance, if I'm lucky, and that would be it. I really see the extent of his interest being very, very small. Another one of my delusions, which I do not have anymore, but I had for years, was that I was Anne Frank. For those of you who don't know who that is, she was a Jewish girl hiding from the Nazis, and she wrote a beautiful diary, and the family found it and kept it, and it was published. And she had died in a concentration camp. I had it in my head that I was she reincarnated. And this persisted for years, decades. I had this idea through sanity and delusional behavior, and all through everything that I went through. I believed that until a spiritual friend of mine who is very talented, is that the word? Gifted, that's the word, I'm sorry. She's very gifted, and she informed me that I was not, that I was a German girl hiding. And that made all the sense in the world to me. Some other delusions that I've had. I had delusions when I was insane that my father was God, and that my mother was Mrs. God, and that Jesus was my brother, and that I was Mary. I don't know didn't know if I was Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary. And I suppose in my mental state, I could have believed I was both. I was pretty messed up. So it's getting on 9 minutes now, and I think that's long enough to put you through this. And so I want to thank you for listening this far, and I'd like to suggest that you like and subscribe if you would, please. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.